Hi, thanks for tuning in to my next video. I really appreciate it. I've got a question for you. Most of the videos, the sailing videos that you watch, have got an intro which normally lasts 10 to 30 seconds. Something I've not done. I'm just wondering what your views are, whether you think I should do a short intro or just plow straight in head first and you switch the video on and it starts. I'd be interested in your comments on it. And the other thing I was going to talk about, or just ask a question, or really make a statement, you'll probably see a lot of YouTube creators have a Patreon site where you can, I don't know, donate money and all the rest of it to help people along with their travels. It's something that I'll never do. I chose to have this lifestyle and live on a boat and fund it myself, so I will never put a Patreon connection to this site. If you want to buy me a drink, that's fine. Buy it for yourself. Sit down with a beer and watch the videos. I do really appreciate you spending some of your time watching my stuff, and thank you for that. I've actually now achieved the creator status on YouTube with over 1,000 subscriptions, and I think now about 6,500 watch hours. I'm just going through the final process with YouTube to get accredited. I never actually expect to earn any money from YouTube because I'll never get the amount of views necessary to earn a few dollars. I do this purely for fun and for your entertainment and for my family's entertainment. Anyway, that's the bit I wanted to say. Appreciate your support. This week's video is all about getting the boat ready. I'm going to be leaving La Cruz and going back to the mainland. Going back to the Baja, and we'll probably spend in excess of 4 months on anchor at various locations. So I'm starting to stock the boat and do all the final preparation to have a stress-free and hopefully breakage-free next 4 months. So I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, thanks for your support. Thank you. Well, my time in La Cruz on the mainland is shortly going to come to an end in about 3 weeks time. Looking for a weather window then to then cross back over to the Sea of Cortez. The main reason for coming this side is La Paz gets pretty cold in the winter, and constant northers, they can last for weeks on end. So I came over this side to really stay out of the northers and have a bit of a holiday in a marina, to be fair. Yeah, just starting to do some preparations now over the next few weeks to get the boat ready to leave. I'll probably try for the end of March, and then it will be cruising up in the sea till probably first week of July. And then the hurricane season starts to have an effect. So putting together some supplies, put in the freezer to stock up. I probably won't stop in La Paz. On the way back I'll go straight across and go straight up into the sea. There's a couple of things I need to do. The outboard is playing up, as all outboards do. I think it's the jets, particularly the low speed or the idle jet, that's got a bit of blocking up, so I need to fix that, and a few odds and ends around the boat. But yeah, the boat's always ready, but can always do some more in preparedness for 4 or 5 months on anchor. So the first thing I'm going to do is peel some prawns. I tend to buy these in small batches because it takes an age to peel them and then devein them, and then I'll freeze them. It's easy enough then to throw them in with some spaghetti and some sauce, or just grill them on the barbecue. And here they're really cheap, so I'll probably buy, whoops, wrong way, 2 or 3 kilos and have them in the freezer ready to go. They make a good last minute and easy meal when there's nothing else available. So there we go, 2 bags done. There's about a dozen in each, so more than enough for a decent meal. And the good thing about these things for freezing is they don't actually take up much room in my freezer, so you know, that's why I've got so many of these. I always take the food out of the wrappers, the plastic stuff that it comes in from the supermarket, because it takes up an awful lot less space in the freezer, and I also do them obviously as individual portions. I normally run the engine every 2 weeks just to keep everything oiled up and flowing. I had a bit of a scare this morning when I turned it on because there was no water coming out the exhaust, and I thought it might have been the impeller, so which was changed on the 4th of the 6th last year. I took it out, had a look at it, everything's fine, so it wasn't that. Then I checked the strainer, which seemed to have dropped some water, and the level was quite low, so I just took the top off and opened up the stopcock and filled the strainer bowl, and that seemed to do the trick. I'm not sure why the water level dropped in it, but it was only about halfway up, and I leave the stopcock open normally, so don't know what caused that. I ran the engine for about an hour, got it up to temperature. There's no leaks anywhere, so that's a bit of a mystery, but it's all back working now. Check the engine level, oil level, and everything's fine there. It's not due for a change, probably until I get back over the other side, depending upon the amount of motoring that's required. Couple of months ago I did top up the transmission fluid, but now I'm thinking maybe I've overfilled it. I'm not sure whether you check it by having the cap and dipstick actually screwed into the transmission, or whether it's just rests on the top to read the level. So if anybody knows, please let me know. At the moment I screwed the cap back in and then measured the level on the stick, but I seem to recall somewhere in the distant past that you actually measure the amount of transmission fluid by resting the dipstick and cap on the top and not screw it in. So if anybody's got any info on that, I'd really appreciate commenting and letting me know whether I've got to suck some of that fluid back out. In a previous video I serviced the windlass, that needs doing once a year, so that's all greased up and ready to go. The only thing I don't know is when the last time the winches were serviced, and I've got 4 of them, so I'm going to give them a check this morning and see what sort of condition they're in. I'm expecting not to have to do anything with them. They're running quite freely at the moment, but I just want to check all 4. Still got some grease on them. Wrong size, right size. Once you've removed the 4 machine screws, simply take this top off, and then you're left with 4 springs and 4 guides. And then this lifts off. Don't know what that is. And then this is heavy. Whoa. Actually, it's not bad. It's well greased. I think it just needs cleaning up. I could do with some on there, but they're okay. I think they're all going to be okay. Interesting. Loads of gunk down here I can get off. Yeah, they're greased. Easy peasy. To be honest, they're pretty good. There's a bit of old grease here that can come off. It's just excess grease. I just put a smattering of new grease on, and yeah, it looks fine. As they say, if ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to leave this one as it is. It looks fine. I've just slapped some new Lumar winch grease on the teeth and up on the shaft there, and I think that'll do. It will spread around. Just now reassemble. Maybe put a slap on there. Doesn't need much because they're already fairly well greased. That's that. Put the beastie back on. Make sure the holes line up. I'm quite happy actually that the winches are in such good condition. I'm just praying the rest of them will like it, but knowing Michael, the previous owner, I think they all will be. So we've got no issues there. Maybe I'm tempting fate by saying they all should be good, but now which way did that go back on? That way, I think. No, perhaps not. Perhaps that way. Pretty darn good. Just hope it's going to spin when I'm finished. I could be tempting fate. Right, that's that. They're in. They only need to be done down. You don't have to tighten them down that much, but then put these locking things back in. And the trick with this is, because they don't go in properly, you've got to lift this up slightly, and you'll hear them and feel them click in. They're in place. That should now slide on the top like that. If you've never done this before, don't be put off by it. Just take some photographs as you do it, so you know which way up stuff is and which way round it goes. And yeah, it's fine, it's easy. Once you've done one, the rest are like clockwork. Done. Right, all back in place. Here we go. 1 2-speed Lumar 54 winch service. Done. 3 more to go. Hope they're as easy as this one. Also cleaned out the bilges this morning, and they're now dry for a change. Using this repaired contraption to suck the water out. Works quite well, and it's pretty quick and easy. Then the bilges should hopefully stay dry. There's no reason for them to get wet. On Milagro I have 3 freshwater tanks, a big one under the Pullman berth and 2 stern ones. It holds about 100 gallons all up. I've never used the 2 stern water tanks, and the water at La Cruz isn't supposed to be that good, so I decided to test the water tanks in the stern and to test the dock water, and it came out with some surprising results. The dock water, which is this one, came out at 255 parts per million, which is pretty good. And out of the rear tanks, the stern tanks, I measured this one and it came out at 463, which is still drinkable, but I had assumed that the rear tanks would be RO water. Obviously they're not, and the dock water at La Cruz is a lot better than what people have said it is. So I've now switched the tanks to clear out the 2 rear ones. I only really use it for washing and the freshwater toilet, and I've been buying bottled big garrafons of water for making coffee, but I think the water is safe enough to drink, and especially at 253 it's not that far off what you get running the water maker sometimes, so quite pleased about that. Thanks for watching the video again this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Last week's video was about taking some of the stress and anxiety out of solo sailing, and my mum saw it and I think it scared the crap out of her. Sorry mum, it's not that dangerous. It was a very serious video, not my normal jovial self, but I wanted to get across a few points, and I think it scared the crap out of her. But once again, sorry mum. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great week ahead. Cheers.